Welcome back. And at this time, please welcome Nacio President Dennis Goulet.
Welcome back, everyone, or welcome if this is the first session you're joining today. I hope you were able to participate in the previous session on broadband. I really thought that was exemplified our today's theme of collaboration, because I really think that those communities of interest that are are necessary to make the broadband initiatives a success really has to be collaboration between and among. What a great opportunity broadband is presenting, and if you didn't get a chance to see the session, I really would encourage you to watch the recording. I also am enjoying the virtual hallway. It's kind of fun. It's a little quirky tech there, but if you go into setup and use your camera, you can get your camera to work. Just click on the camera you want to use. Works great after that. This next session will cover cybersecurity in the IT acquisition process in an unconventional way. Panelists will play the classic game show match game. Before I introduce the panel, I have a polling question for our state members. Cooperative contract vehicles have been on the rise, allowing states to combine their purchasing power. So here we go with our question. What percentage of your state's large IT contracts do you anticipate being purchased through cooperative contract vehicles? Very few, 25 to 50%, 50 to 75, 75 to 100%, or don't know? I'm watching the results here. Now I sit in that 25 to 50% range, so it looks like I'm in the majority for now anyway. So now, yeah, it seems like we're settling pretty solidly in that range, and I think if we had looked at the statistics, we'd find that that's creeping up over time. So thanks everybody for answering that question. I know it's helpful to the Nacio community to know what we're thinking and doing. And now, let's play match game.
It's time to play Nacio Match Game 21. Today's contestants are Jim Weaver and Maria Thompson, and the celebrity panel, Meredith Ward, Matt Oyer, and Mike Garcia. And now, welcome your host for Match Game 21, Irvin Rogers.
Good afternoon and welcome to the match game. I'm your host, Irvin D. Rogers II. In my spare time, I serve as the CIO for the great state of Ohio. Match game is where two contestants compete head to head as they try to match the answers with a panel of celebrities. Today, all questions focused on cybersecurity and the IT acquisition process. Let's meet our contestants. There's been some rumbling going around Nacio that CIOs rule and CISOs drool. Yes, I flipped that. I was there that night that it was at the dueling piano bar that I had to pay like twice to get it taken down. But I think if I were a CISO, I would read it as CISOs rule and CIOs drool. The CIO-CISO matchup will be put to the test. Please welcome Jim Weaver, CIO for North Carolina. You may remember Jim as the CIO for Washington State or as the deputy CIO in Pennsylvania. Before that, Jim was recently proved that he can graciously be defeated when he wore an OHIO t-shirt at the Nacio call after he was defeated with his beloved Penn State, which he's wearing today. We will forgive him for putting that on because he should have had the OSU t-shirt on. And playing for the Nacio's CISOs is Maria Thompson, the state risk officer for North Carolina. Maria has been with the state for since 2015. Before that, she served 25 years in the U.S. Marine Corps, where she retired as a cybersecurity chief. Thank you for your service. She's a frequent speaker at Nacio events, and I bet she can do more push-ups than you, Jim, and me, and me. A huge welcome to you both. And now for our celebrity panel. The author of the recently publication, Public Buyers Beware, Integrating Cybersecurity into the Acquisition Process. First, from the National Association of State CIOs, and perhaps the originator of the disparaging remark that CIOs drool, the Director of Policy and Research, Meredith Ward. There it goes, there it goes. From the National Association of State Procurement Officials, Matt Orr, the Acting Chief Learning Officer, and from the Center for Internet Security, the Senior Advisor for Cybersecurity, Mike Garcia. Now for the rules. I will ask a question with a fill in the blank. For example, this session is going to be blank, and you guys will need to fill, right? You're going to say it, and our panel celebrities are going to fill it in a piece of paper. So everyone will write down their answers. There is no correct answer. Rather, the contestants are just trying to hope that their answers match one of the celebrities, what the celebrities have written down. If it does, they will get a point. At the end of the question, the contestants with the most points win. What do they win? Bragging rights, of course. Come on, Jim. I'm pulling for you as a CIO brother. Quick disclaimer, cybersecurity and the procurement process can be heavy topics. This session is created a little levity and approach key principles in a different way. Lighthearted answers in no way lessen the importance that we place on these topics. With that, let's go. Question number 1. All state employees and contractors play a role in risk management. Because of this, cybersecurity is often referred to as everyone take a moment, write down your answers. Jim, can you share your answer, please?
Certainly, here as I'm broadcasting from the beloved Beaver Stadium in the State College, a sucking black hole of death and despair.
Wow. And Maria, your answer, please.
A ray of sunshine. A ray of sunshine.
Wow, that's totally two opposites. I love it. Now, let's see if their answers match celebrities. Celebrities, please show us your answers. All right, Meredith has, what do you have there, Meredith? Team sport. Mike Garcia has team sport, and Matt has team sport. Okay, I'm gonna need a judge ruling on that one.
I think I win because I'm the only one that's reflecting a team sport at the moment there, Mr. MC.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
The pattern's full there.
Looks like no points, no points, no points. Jim or Maria, anything you guys want to add to that?
No, I think that's absolutely correct. You know, as far as it being a team sport, we all are in this game and we all have to pull together. So kudos to the celebrity judges and panelists there.
Awesome. So let's go down the line. I actually skipped them. I'll get back into a rhythm here. Meredith, anything you want to add to that? You're on mute, my friend.
All right, I know. Isn't that terrible? By now, I should know how to unmute myself 18 months into the pandemic. Sure. And, you know, Mike, if you want to jump in as well, obviously the CISOs on the line and the CIOs too, know that everybody has a role to play in cybersecurity.
All right. And Mike, what do you think?
Sure. Yeah, I'll jump in. I mean, this whole thing is about managing risk. And in this case, it's cybersecurity risk. So effectively, every employee, every contractor touches IT, right? And so, and in every single aspect of an organization's IT. And so it's important that we all get it right. Part of that is training, but it's not just training. It's also about, knowing what to do to prevent a bad thing and knowing what to do when the bad thing inevitably happens. And that's everyone top to bottom in the organization. Generally that includes procurement officers, that includes administrators, it includes everyday users. For procurements, of course, it includes people from the procurement shop, but it also has to include people from the IT shop. It's got to include people from the IT security teams. These are different individuals with different skill sets, different expertise, and they have different vantage points within the organization. So excluding any of them reduces your likelihood of conducting a secure procurement.
All right, thanks, Mike. Matt, anything?
I just agree with Mike and Meredith. I think the biggest thing is collaboration from the start and making sure that all the stakeholders are involved in that conversation from the beginning and then going throughout. And I know this topic, collaboration, it's going to keep coming up. Spoiler for the contestants, this might come back to it, but it's just that constant conversation and having the right people at the table from the start.
Awesome. All right, let's go to round number 2. Right now, the score is tied 0-0. Question number 2. When CISOs were asked for their feedback on their involvement in the acquisition process, many indicated they were involved late or seen as a blank. Take a moment, write down your answers. All right, Maria, let's start with you first. What's your answer to that?
So I'm thinking that the answer is the Great Wall of Cyber. The Great Wall of Cyber.
Okay, pretty clever. Jim, what's your answer?
I'm thinking the Great Brick Wall. The Great Brick Wall.
All right, you guys seem to have come together on that one. Now, let's see if there's a match. Celebrities, please show us your answers. Got a roadblock with Meredith. Roadblock, okay, or Debbie Downer for Matt. And I can't read your handwriting, unfortunately, Mike, so you'll have to say it.
It's a common problem. Curmudgeon.
Gotcha. All right, so, Meredith, I'll ask you to elaborate more on this important topic of integrating cybersecurity from the start and what CISO's role should be in that process.
Thank you, Irvin. So when we set out to write this publication, I asked all of our wonderful CISOs a couple of questions, and this was one of them. What works well, what doesn't work well in the procurement process? A lot of them weren't brought to the table until very late into the game, and a lot of them were forced to just kind of check a box at the end of the process.
All right. Jim or Maria, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I'll take this one, Irvin. I mean, as much as we're trying to make some lightheartedness out of this, unfortunately, CISOs should not be seen as a barrier or roadblock. They need to be intimately involved at the outset of these initiatives and play an integral part in enabling us to make sure we're doing the right things at the right time. And so, as much as we're being lighthearted about this, it's the seriousness of the moment is the CISOs need to be involved.
I agree with you, sir. I agree with you. And Maria, your thoughts?
I just want to add that, as CISOs, we have to do a better job of making our business owners feel that, we are of value and that, when they have these discussions, when they're talking about their requirements, that they immediately think about, well, where is the CISO in the room? Even if it is that the fact that if they have us, earlier in the game, that it's not going to be a back end and cause delays, even if that's the reason, it's a value for them because, we'll make sure that security is part of the conversation from the get-go.
All right. Based on the woman behind the green curtain, not to be confused with Emily Lang. Right now, the point system is 1 point to Jim. Score is 1-0. In favor of.
How did that happen?
It's over now, right? It's over.
Do over.
Hey,
Where's Dickie Vitale coming out? It's all over.
I'm your match game host, and I'm just reading what's given to me. All right, round number 3. Let's move on. Next question. Due to their complexity, large-scale technology acquisitions, and those that carry a large amount of risk, should be approached less than traditional procurement and more like insert answer blank. Take a moment again and write down your answers. Let's start out with my friend, Jim Weaver.
So should be approached more like a fragile vase, as opposed to vase.
Okay. And I'm going to keep her as my friend because I don't want her to put me in a headlock. Maria, your answer.
Wow, Jim and I are almost in sync. I said the Holy Grail.
All right. Now let's see if your answers are a match. Celebrities, can you please show us your answers? Looks like Meredith has agile. Matt has project. And Mike has large project. All right, Matt, in the Matt, in the publication, you talked about structuring the procurement was more like a project. Can you please tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I think, with this, and especially with larger IT procurements, one of the things we try to emphasize is, it needs to be approached as a larger scale project, and then maybe some other procurements and following the more traditional project management process as well, or just having the project management process in place. So some of the things that we talked about, obviously putting project plans and sitting down with all the stakeholders, potentially having a project charter that spells out kind of everything involved, and then considering just some of the different elements of it, everything from kind of assumptions to constraints and timeline and all of that. Again, upfront, but coming back to that project plan throughout the development of the procurement.
All right, thank you, Matt. And the point goes to neither. The score remains 1-0 in favor of Jim Weaver, CIO.
So not only am I winning, I'm pitching a shutout. I just want to put down the record.
Oh man, you're throwing down the gauntlet. How far is our office from your office, man? How far is our office?
This is bias. This is bias. This is all.
All right, round number four. The private sector plays an important role in the state's cybersecurity efforts. Therefore, this relationship should be viewed as blank and not transactional. Everyone, take a moment and write down your answers. All right, Maria, let's start with you first.
So this one, I have to say, this is the one that I had to really, because this is my key word here, partnership. It has to be a partnership.
All right, I can get with that. And Jim?
My answer was a collaborative partnership.
Oh.
That sounds like bonus points there. I'm just saying, but
do that.
That's right. There's a multi-syllable word there, just for the record.
I might be biased as a CIO. So
might.
Now let's see if if your answers match the celebrities. Can you please show us your answers? Meredith Ward has partnership, Matt has partner, and Mike has partner. All right. Good news. Everybody gets a point. So Maria, you're on the scoreboard. No shutouts here, no shutouts. It's 2-1. Now, Meredith, in this publication, you talked about viewing these relationships as true partnerships. Please share a couple of recommendations on how all can be involved and be good partners.
Well, Irvin, I was talking to somebody the other day about looking for the silver linings in the pandemic. And one of them, I think, can be how great state partners really stepped up during the pandemic and stood up things very quickly for states. So that right there is a great example of what a partnership really means. And it's kind of one of those things, it when you see it. And I know all CIOs and CISOs know what I mean. At the end of the day, we're all trying to kind of do the same thing and protect the state. So good partnerships are important with that.
All right. And Mike, do you have anything to add to that?
Oh, I think that's exactly right. It's about a focus on really being partners and trying to achieve something together. Yeah, everyone's got their own interests, but achieving the mission and achieving cybersecurity for both that's a common goal. All
right, Maria or Jim, do you guys have anything you want to add to that?
Just want to add that I think everyone is spot on. We definitely need more mutual supporting relationships. because that's the only way that we can get better at cybersecurity and get better at IT procurement and get better at all the things that we need to do. It can't be done in a silo. So partnership is key.
Yes, and I really want to stress the word collaboration here. And so all joking aside, we do need to work very collaboratively with our strategic partners more and more as we get into some of these topic areas. And we need that expertise and perspective to be brought in and help guide us maybe more so than what we've done in the past.
All right, awesome. Now we're heading into the final round. So Maria, you got to come through on this one. The score is 2-1 in favor of Jim. Don't call it, come back. She's been here for years. So thank you for whoever put that into the chat. I'm a DJ and I totally vibed on that. All right, last question. The key to integrating cybersecurity into the acquisition process is blank. Please take a moment and write down your answers. Jim, we're going to start with you, sir.
Early involvement.
And Maria.
Early involvement in your pajamas.
Oh,
Oh,
all right. That sounds like an icing.
you know, that dramatic pause there, she was trying to go for the Hail Mary there, just for the record.
Almost like watching Penn State try and play against OSU and losing. Now let's see if there's a match to the celebrities. Please, can you show us your answers? Meredith has EA and communication. Matt has collaboration, and Mike, you got a bunch of stuff, brother. Plan, discussion, aligned, budgeted. I can't read the last two. I need to go get glasses.
Executed and monitored.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. The winner of the match is.
Don't say it.
Come on.
It is a tie. It is a tie.
Oh!
Because everything is better in PJs. It is.
Exactly. Yes.
Where's Erdman? Where's Erdman? He's paying somebody off.
CISO's rule.
The last question was very broad, and I'd like to dive a little deeper before we end. I'll start with the celebrity panel and then ask Maria and Jim for their comments. What is the main takeaway you want everyone to know regarding cybersecurity in the acquisition process? Let's start with Matt.
Yeah, so I think we've touched on a little bit of it, but it's just the collaboration and early involvement with the procurement officer and the CIO and everyone involved, and having those early conversations. I think all groups involved can learn from each other about their process, about the different technology being procured. So it's that early involvement and collaboration that I think we just really want to get across.
And my friend Mike.
Yeah, that's right. And, I wrote a bunch of answers because there are a bunch of parts of this process and you have to all be involved in all of them, right? That's about the collaboration. So it starts at the beginning and it doesn't end when the procurement is complete. It's all the way through the life cycle of that IT. And so that the last two, they're executing, monitoring, those are both part of it as well. And so that collaborative spirit, that team sport has to occur through all of them. And, I think the thing to focus on here is that your adversaries don't care about your resource constraints or who gets invited to what meeting. They're going to find the weak point. So wherever you leave something out, they're going to find it. So you can't leave things out. You've got to involve everyone in each step of the process. And that's the only thing that's going to prevent exploitations. And you don't want to subject yourself to that.
And my friend Meredith.
I agree with everything that my colleagues have said. And also I wrote down enterprise architecture because EA is life. Shout out to Eric Sweden. Because EA is really kind of the reason, it's the roadmap for everything. So you have to keep that in mind in this process. And also communication, much like collaboration, it's something that I think a lot of people think is a soft skill or maybe not as important, but I tell you what, it is one of the most important things. 5 years working on this project, I can tell you that communication and collaboration are huge.
Awesome. And Maria and Jim, do you guys have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I just want to just reiterate what I stated earlier. but using a different word, building those relationships early, because I think that before it even becomes a project or a procurement or a thought or an idea, if you have those relationships already there, then it makes the conversation a lot easier to have when it's time. So definitely focus on those relationships.
And I'll just add that cyber is not a thing. It's a culture. It's a way of that we have to think about doing business. So don't look at it as an obstacle. Think about it as how it benefits you. And again, I'm very blessed and fortunate to have Maria here in North Carolina. All joking aside.
Yeah. Thank you to our contestants, Jim and Maria. You both were tough competitors. I expected nothing less. And thank you to our celebrity panel, the authors of the publication Buyer Beware, Integrating Cybersecurity into the Acquisition Process. You can find this publication at nacio.org and the Resource Center. Thank you, Nacio family, for everything. I'll miss you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Match Game, and I'll turn it back over to our Nacio president, Dennis Goulet.
Thank you, everybody. I really have to start out with a comment, and it's kind of an important one. You know, while I have been known to drool from time to time, I don't know that it's appropriate to actually bring that up on a session with hundreds of people on it. But maybe that's just me. But all joking aside, great job, Irvin. Great job moderating and being a fair judge, and we'll miss you. So all the best, Godspeed. Jim and Maria, if you had asked me who was going to be the stronger competitor, I would have had a really hard time choosing, and you both lived up to my expectation. And of course, our celebrity panel, you know, you guys were awesome. I agreed with everything there, and I hope everybody listened carefully, because that was some really good stuff. To keep this lighthearted energy going, Aptio will provide a brain break full of laughs. They've put together a compilation of funny pet videos from their team. At its conclusion, I encourage everyone to go over to the discussion wall in the hub and share your funny pet pics before you head into the virtual hallway. After the group chats in the virtual hallway, there are 3 breakout sessions to choose from, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. Enjoy the pet videos, and I hope to see you in the virtual hallway.
Hey there, welcome to the Aptio Brain Break. My name is Lorelli Flores. I'm the Field Marketing Manager for the public sector here at Aptio. We are proud sponsors of Nacio, and I really hope that you've been enjoying this year's mid-year conference. As a reminder, Aptio provides IT financial management solutions. We've helped numerous state and local governments optimize their IT dollars and make their budgets go a lot further. For more information, you can find us on the web at aptio.com, go to solutions, and look for public sector IT. But now I invite you to sit back and relax and enjoy the following presentation of Aptio employees and their hilarious pets. Enjoy.